Who's here for the soccer renderings? We certainly are, and many of the MK Ultras are as well. This time out of Cleveland. Cleveland, an epicenter of the growing soccer wars. There are dueling groups trying to build a stadium and start a pro soccer team in Cleveland. This one, though, USL Cleveland, and they are looking to take over in conjunction with Cleveland State University to reimagine the Wolstein Center into a vibrant mixed-use district anchored by sustainable multi-purpose stadium. The stadium would be home to USL Cleveland, which has aspirations to play in USL's Division I and the Women's League as well.
Okay, so you're saying aspirations for Division I. So what I'm looking at here, Rob, is a 15,000 seat stadium in Cleveland. Is that what you're telling me?
I would assume so. There's scant details on the seating from what I see, but looking at these pictures, I definitely see the hallmarks of mixed use with what looks like the big buildings to the side. I'm guessing that's residential, some retail, some other things there, but I do like the look of the covered stands there on the sides.
Yeah, I mean, we get what, one covered stand, and then I don't. Oh, I guess that's not a covered stand. There's just some weird roof thing, maybe for the concourse area. I guess on one side that it's kind of tough to tell. We do have, as is tradition, I guess we do have an end that basically has no seats, which seems to be a move that USL teams in particular are comfortable with. Again, if it's a matter of space. Like you do need a big stand, and I guess the covered stand in this case is the big stand. You have those other seats on the other sideline. As long as the field dimensions are fine, I'm not going to be too picky about this. If we're doing a rating of the rendering, like a rendering rating here on Morning Kickaround, I'm thinking this is like a 5-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's not, the detail's not quite there for me to be very excited about the rendering. It's kind of, it seems like an early rendering rather than sort of we've evolved to like maybe really imagining what this will look like. As you said, there's what looks like a hospital or something. That's what it looks like to me. It does look like maybe you can rent an apartment and have a view of the games, which I think is always a cool thing. So this is Cleveland State University, and Rob, I'm not an expert on Cleveland geography. How good is the location for this in Cleveland?
Oh boy, you're going to put me on the spot with my Cleveland geography. I just know that this looks to be in an urban area, but I couldn't tell you which one.
It's very downtown adjacent based on what I'm looking at a map. I mean, we're right on the lake here. Like, this is very close to the lake in Cleveland. CSU.
Jenny says slightly east of downtown, but I mean, it's already an epicenter with it being the on campus for Cleveland State. So there is already like community activity in this area. And part of the press release from these renderings was saying that there was going to be community and student activities baked into this development as well.
It looks like it's mere blocks away from Progressive Field, home of the Guardians. So this is like it almost be a stadium district kind of vibe, I think, based on what I'm seeing on the map. And again, I've never been to Cleveland myself, but yeah, you've got the basketball arena, you've got the baseball stadium, and then just a couple blocks to the east is this location to the Wolstein Center at Cleveland State University that they want to redevelop into this soccer stadium. And again, we're not going to be too picky here. We're not going to be, oh my God, well, what about this? And this doesn't look rendered enough, or I don't see the details I want. And this is like, we can't be too demanding. Or cost reportedly $100 million, right? After what last week we saw in Reno, they want to spend 80 on a building that will have a roof all around it. Imagine it costs more to get things done in Cleveland than it does in Reno.
Yeah.
I would prefer it to be roofed all the way around. That's how you hold sound. That's how you protect people from the elements. But again, man, if somebody wants to build a stadium or do a project that costs $100 million and put a professional soccer team in it, and it's got 15,000 seats and it meets all the requirements for first division soccer, and it becomes part of a team that's in part of a pro rel pyramid, I'm excited, right? I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, we're giving it a 5 on the official Morning Kickaround render rating-o-meter, but I mean, this is way better than the stadium that doesn't exist and the team that doesn't exist, right?
That's right. Look, there are lots of steps between this and a team playing soccer on a stadium that looks like this. Lots of steps. So many things can go wrong. So many things can change. What you hope for, like the best case scenario, is the things that change are like, oh, we had to tweak the stadium a little bit. We had to change the orientation of the field, or we had to scrap this idea, or the stadium screen is going to be smaller, or we couldn't offer quite as many IPAs as we planned. Like that's what you hope are the problems, because those problems don't prevent the team from launching and playing soccer in a soccer specific stadium built for what is right now a lower division soccer team in the United States of America.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be forgotten that there are already pre-existing USL 2 teams and NPSL teams that exist there. And if you want a little bit more context of kind of what's going on the ground, we have a video. We had a guest, Bailey Major from one of the amateur teams is already there and kind of give us the lay of the land of, what are these groups doing to integrate themselves into the local soccer community. And Bailey actually was saying that the MLS Next group was, getting involved on the ground a little bit more, offering some help with some operational things and trying to ingratiate themselves to the local soccer community. Because it shouldn't be forgotten that while parallel to this plan that we see, or this rendering we see on screen, MLS Next has a $50 million stadium plan in the approval process, set to be built, if approved, across the street from Progressive Field in the South Gateway District. So what we have on screen, the USL plan, downtown adjacent on a college sort of a area, and then MLS Next trying to go even more downtown and be literally within that stadium district.
Yeah, that thing, the idea of two soccer stadiums. How big is the MLS Next Pro stadium plan?
Oh, Rob? I think it's smaller than that. It's a $50 million budget. I'll look up to see what their seating projections are.
Okay, so 50 million, they're probably going to be, they're looking for 5, 6, 8,000 people, right, to come out and watch MLS Next Pro. Again, an independent MLS Next Pro team, right? And that's
10,000 is the plan. 10,000.
10,000. Okay. That's something they're pushing for, right? This MLS Next Pro is pushing for independent clubs to join. We just had the announcement of Long Island, right? The Island FC. They used AI in their video, in their images, and they shouldn't have done that. But other than that, I mean, I don't like it, right? On the surface, I don't like MLS Next Pro pushing into markets and putting independent teams into their league. That is, for me, nominally, it's a development league. It's a professional league, sure, but it's meant to help players get to MLS. And so when you muddy the waters like this, and now again, not that, as I said, I don't like it as a fan. It bothers me. I get concerned about what it means for soccer in America, but you can't stop them from doing it. Right? There's no way to prevent MLS Next Pro from going in this direction. One of the comments we had on one of the videos we just did, I don't think it was the USL questions video. I think it was something else with ProRel, said, oh, if US Soccer had the balls, they would demand ProRel right now, but they're corrupt. And I'm like, you do not understand the situation if that's what you think is going on. US Soccer, US Soccer can't install ProRel. That's not a thing they can do. And they certainly can't tell MLS Next Pro or USL, hey, you can't put a team in a town that's already got a team. So what is the future of Cleveland if it has an MLS Next Pro team and a USL team, and they're half a mile apart in terms of their stadium locations? That is, on one hand, bad for soccer in America, probably, or bad for soccer in Cleveland. On the other hand, I really want to see what happens. I got my popcorn out. Let's go.
Yeah, both get approved, and there's two stadiums half a mile apart. Someone put in the comments here today, Thomas, Liverpool Everton situation of the USA, just a stone's throw away from each other would be wild. It seems typical of our current era to go from zero to too many all in the same breath.
I mean, it's very indicative of what's going on here. I will put out, this seems to be across the interstate from Progressive Field. So as much as it is adjacent and across the street, it's across an interstate. I don't know if you can walk. You know how sometimes there are certain cities where
big barrier.
you could walk underneath, and they have pathways and all this stuff. And in some places, that is a wall, and you can't get to the other side of that interstate. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how that all plays out. Cleveland, one of the epicenters of the current version of American soccer wars.